everybody, welcome back to another airport update of the Lidosta Riga airport today. We have a new model to see in today's update, and we also have delivery of a new aircraft for airBaltic, their 47th aircraft, so we'll get on with all of that later, but we'll begin over here with all these cargo aircraft which do not park here in real life. The cargo apron is on the other side of the airport, and unfortunately I do not have enough room to represent that on this model, but we do have a few cargo aircraft right here that we will start with for today's update. So in the back there we see the FedEx feeder ATR-72 operated by Swift Air, but the actual aircraft was actually just in the Swift Air house livery. This is what I have to use to substitute it, as I don't have a Swift Air ATR-72 has not been made, I guess except for the Prime Air one, but that's still not in the house livery. This one arrived in from Kaunas, and it will be heading back out there on the turnaround. That is the one route that you see on the Swift Air ATR-72s. And then our next aircraft here is this ASL Airlines 77-200. This is filling it for a 737-800 for ASL Airlines France. But it arrived in from Copenhagen, and it will be heading back out there. So the aircraft would look something like that. I don't know if it'd be in the completely blank livery, because ASL has this one, and they also have their regular livery. This example is the ASL Belgium 757-200 by NG Models, which unfortunately it is not the accurate aircraft for this one exactly, but it was a substitute as it is still the correct airline. And now moving along here, we have our final cargo aircraft here, which is this DHL 737-800, which is filling in for a 737-400. This one also arrived in from Copenhagen, and it's on the turnaround today. That is really the only cargo route that we see from here for both ASL and DHL. Not really sure why Copenhagen is so popular, but I guess that is the main cargo airport that they fly to from Riga, at least. And then behind that one, this is the new airBaltic aircraft right here. The registration for this new aircraft is Yankee Lima Alpha Bravo uniform, and it is painted in this livery as we see right here. It arrived in from Montreal, or well, I guess that would be Mirabel, where the Bombardier / Airbus, I guess an Airbus now, factory is there in Montreal. And so this one arrived in from there, and it will be staying here all day today, and then it will head out to Vilnius tomorrow morning. So very nice right there. Lovely to see airBaltic getting more and more aircraft introduced into their fleet. This is now their 47th aircraft in their all A220 fleet. So they should hit 50 this year, which is going to be quite exciting. And their 50th aircraft is actually going to be painted in a special livery. I'm not sure which one won the competition, but I'm guessing airBaltic will announce that in due time. So we'll see what the 50th aircraft livery will be. So that'll be very exciting. Hopefully someone can make a model, diecast model of that one, as I would love to add it to the fleet. As I mean, I have every single one of 400 scale airBaltic model that has been produced, and I'm looking for another one to add to the fleet here, because we've had the 5 for a while and it's kind of getting stale. So I'd like to add another one to throw into the mix there, and so excited to see what the livery is, and then hopefully a model will be made of it once the livery is revealed. Our next aircraft here is the airBaltic A320-300 in the Estonian flag livery. This one arrived in from Copenhagen, but this one on a passenger flight, not a cargo flight. And this one will be heading out to Malaga later today. And fellow contender for Expo 2027, just like here in Minnesota. Unfortunately, it went to Belgrade, Serbia, which I'm kind of bitter about. But I guess what are you going to do about it? So I'm going to hope to make it to 2025 Expo in Osaka, but that's going to be a big commitment, but I'm going to try to make it out there. But yeah, it's this airBaltic A320-300, and now we'll move on to even more airBaltic aircraft. All right, and now for this pair, we'll begin with the A220 right there in the foreground. Excuse me. This one arrived in from Tallinn, Estonia, and it'll be heading out to Helsinki, Finland. And in the back there, we have the Fokker 50 in the old livery, the old Berlin and Hamburg to Riga for 49 euro livery, which is definitely not the case anymore. I'd love it for it to be, but yeah, unfortunately that does not hold true anymore. But still, that's one of my favorite models. Love to have it. And this aircraft arrived in from Vilnius, and this one has stayed overnight, but it will be getting boarded up in a bit here, and we'll be heading back out there. A rare turnaround for an airBaltic aircraft here, because they never really do turnarounds here in Riga, but this one will be doing the turn back out to Vilnius in Estonia, but an overnight turn. And check out this Ryanair 737-800 operated by Buzz. Even though this is not flying to Poland, this one is on the turn from, this one arrived in from Berlin and is heading out to Milan today. So neither of those flights are from Poland, but we get a lot of Buzz operated Ryanair flights here. We get a lot of Buzz. Also, we have the regular Ryanair mainland, I guess. A lot of flights operated by them, of course. And then also we get Lauda as well. Very rare that we see like Malta Air, I think is what it's called. There's Air Malta and Malta Air, and I think it's Malta Air. Very rare that we see one of those, but we do get the occasional Lauda flight. I'm actually looking to get a Lauda model. There isn't a model of the Lauda A320. There is a Lauda Motion A320, which is the old name for the airline before it became part of Ryanair. But yeah, so this 737-800 arriving in from Berlin, heading out to Milan, operated by Buzz, even though none of those flights are from Poland. So that was TLDR if you didn't want me rambling about Ryanair for about a minute. Our next aircraft here is this Turkish Airlines A330-200. Now, obviously, Turkish Airlines does not operate the A330s to Riga, as that aircraft is way too big, but they do operate the 737s and the A321neos here. This particular aircraft subbing in for a 737 MAX 8, which arrived in from Istanbul, and it will be heading back out there to Istanbul. So very nice right there. This aircraft isn't super realistic, but it will get the job done for the time being. And eventually in the future, I would like to invest in getting a more realistic Turkish Airlines aircraft here, but this is my only Turkish Airlines model for now. This is what we have to use for this flight. All right, and here are our final two aircraft for today's update. And we'll be beginning with the banger right here with the Wizz A321neo right here. This is a brand new model right here. This is by NG Models, and it's a lovely model, recently unboxed. And this is its first appearance here at the Riga International Airport. So this aircraft arrived in from Kutaisi, Georgia, and it'll be heading back out there on the turnaround. It's also operated by Wizz Air Malta. So that's pretty interesting right there. Now, Wizz Air, unfortunately, they have cut back a whole bunch of their services to Riga, including Budapest and also London Luton. They used to be the third largest airline here at Riga, but this is now their last route here, and it only runs twice weekly to Kutaisi. So I'm not sure why Wizz Air did that. I guess they just weren't doing as well as like Ryanair or airBaltic, because they've both grown a lot. Most airlines have actually grown a lot here at Riga, but for whatever reason, Wizz Air has really cut back their service, and that's unfortunate to see, for sure. But at least we still have this one route. Hopefully it continues. It is only seasonal as well, so definitely not a whole lot of opportunity to fly Wizz Air to Riga anymore, but we do still see them here with their A321neo, and so that is nice to see. A very pretty livery, if I do say so myself. Interesting name choice, but very nice livery, and so glad that we can get Wizz in some airport updates here, and so we'll hopefully see them as well in future airport updates. Then our final aircraft right here is this A220-300 in the Latvia 100 years livery right here for airBaltic. And this one arrived in from Tbilisi, and it'll be heading out to Tallinn. So that'll do it for our airport update today. Thank you all for checking this one out. I know it's been a while since we've been to Riga. Well, I suppose there have been other airports that have been on a longer hiatus than between Riga updates, and Riga was probably due for a little bit of a delay since I've been very consistent with these airport updates, probably more so than I should be, but this is coming from a Latvian here, so I like doing these updates personally. Anyways, this airport update actually was delayed about a week because I have been sick. and I wasn't able to record a Riga update last week, so this one actually is a little bit delayed, but here it is, and lovely to get to the Wizz A321neo, and also, because of the delay, we got to the new airBaltic aircraft, the 47th airBaltic A220-300, so that is absolutely lovely to see right here. But that'll do it for our airport update today. I've been rambling a little bit far too long at this point, so I will let you go on your merrily way, and I will see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.